New deck's not faring well.
Yeah, I haven't won a game yet, so I guess now we have to end the streak here.
We're in the losers bracket. Well, that's where I'm used to the losers bracket at this point.
The thing is, that's pretty typical when you start testing. You build new decks and you run them against these finely tuned machines that we've been figuring out for 3 months.
Yep,
it usually doesn't go that well.
Yeah, I mean, we also kind of pitted these in the order we wanted. I think that Izzet probably would have struggled a little bit against this Esper control deck. You know, I think that Mortify is quite good against Niv-Mizzet, just because it's a hard answer, and a lot of the Jeskai decks and things like that have trouble actually getting rid of it permanently. Like, they can usually Teferi minus on it, but, you know, with the Ixalan's Binding, if we had flip-flopped the matchups, I think one of them might have been able to take it down. I'm not sure.
Who knows?
And also, I mean, maybe Golgari would have lost to Rakdos. Like, CG Commander's pretty good against them. Carnage Tyrant's not that good against, like, all these giant, you know...
Against Playcrafter?
Yeah, sure.
But as we demonstrated, I can't draw that card.
That's fair.
I'm sure I'll draw 2 in this game before I side them out.
Anyway, so we are going to be pitting this Rakdos Midrange deck against Esper Control right now. I have yet to cast an Absorb. Just want to point that out. I got one stuck in my hand for about 4 turns. Any 3-mana counterspell there would not have been very good, though. So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. You'll probably cast one of it.
All right. Well, we're gonna shuffle up, draw some hands. Let's take some questions from chat, because I want to talk a little more about new cards, and I know that y'all have questions.
King of 9X wants to know what you think of the Azorius split card Depose Deploy.
I think Depose Deploy is a perfect example of the direction they are pushing the Azorius Guild and making it like more of a creature-based strategy. You know, they have like a little mini Thopter theme. I think that the back half deploy is very good. At the very least, it's 4 mana instant, make 2 1/1 flyers and gain 2 life. That's the bottom.
Yeah.
And the top is add 2 more tokens to your swarm and gain like 1 million, you know, or gain a bunch. And that card could be insanely good for like a mid-rangey token strategy. You know, that's something we've seen a little bit in the last few years.
And if you're talking about the floor on the card, even if the tokens aren't good, you're in a spot like that. You just tap down a creature that's attacking you and draw a card. That's like draw a card, gain some life. It's like Revitalize.
Sure.
So the floor is really low. The ceiling is reasonable. I think it fits with what the Azorius cards are doing. It seems like it's just a good like linchpin piece. That kind of card that like is never bad, always does something pretty good, enables everything else. I'm high on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me actually a little bit of the card Fire Ice, which was a staple a long time ago, and when it was in Standard, it was played a lot and like Extended and a little bit in Legacy for a little while, and Temur Delver back in the day. The front half of Ice, to just cycle and keep churning through your deck and looking for something, was always decent. But the Sparkler was fire. Deal 2 damage split, and obviously the Sparkler on this is deploy. But I still think the front half of tap a thing, draw a card is not bad.
Yep. Did you have Fire Ice ready for the graphic there, Robert?
I did not.
Okay.
Sorry,
Rats.
reading Twitch questions.
Yeah, that's our awkward card of the day that we just randomly bring up.
Oh yeah.
There's always some 20-year-old card.
We've been playing Magic too long.
Yeah.
Anyway, more questions. I'm mulliganing.
Yeah, Dritz087 asked, do you think Tezzeret has a shot in the new Standard with all the Thopters?
I hope so. I thought that card was pretty good when I was testing it during that previous season. It hasn't really showed up, but when you enable it and you're drawing 2 cards with it, it does powerful stuff. Little low loyalty for a 5-mana Planeswalker, and we need a little bit more than what we have right now. There's Treasure Map, there's Dovin Bond, there's Deploy. That's not enough. We're going to need a little bit more than that. And yeah, we could definitely see it.
We don't need that much more.
Yeah,
these cards
I said a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. I will say this: the archetype is very unexplored, and I think that people were really expecting Azorius to be all about Teferi for some reason, and I am so glad that it's not, and so hyped to try out like a Dovin Tezzeret token deck. You know, that just sounds great to me. So
let's run it.
All right. Well, I'm on 6. I guess I get to be on the play because I lost.
Because you lost last round.
All right. My 6 is quite good. I need a land though. I
have classic medium mid-range hand.
Bottom that, and your turn. We need to draw a land.
Ross, given you're playing a red deck, what do you
Yes.
think of the new 5-mana dragon, the Skargan Hellkite?
That kind of template we've had for a long time, and then they're typically good. There's Thunderbolt Hellkite, there's Glorybringer. I'm sure I'm missing another Stormbreath Dragon. That was the other one. They all saw play. I expect this one to do the same. I think it's weaker than the other ones, just because the 4/4 haste mode, which is the one you really want because it kills planeswalkers, doesn't do anything else other than that. But I mean, against Lava Coil, being able to play it as a 5-mana 5/5 that then just dominates the battlefield seems pretty cool. So I expect it'll see play at some point.
Yeah, I think the card's quite good. I'm excited to see what it does. I'm at 18 life.
Yes. I was going to laugh because I did draw Playcrafter for my first draw of this game,
Nice.
but I have a Rixmati Reveler, so I can turn it into something else.
But
Like a second Playcrafter.
But I have Teferi in my deck. It's good against Teferi. I mean, your hand might be great otherwise. I'm just saying. I actually quite like Playcrafter against the Teferi decks. All right, I need lands. I'm bidding everything that's not a land. Go.
Well, I drew a worse card, but that's okay.
27 lands over here.
Deck 2.
All right, I will go to 16.
I will play a Midnight Reaper.
Right, I'll Essence Scatter that.
That's pretty good. Whenever you miss a land drop, being able to use your mana still and trade for their turn. Attack for 2.
14.
I managed to hit my land drop, which is
This
nice.
body is relevant. I just want to point that out. That results. But
That's turn.
this body is incredibly relevant right now. The 2/2 is cutting my life down to shreds. All right, we got to keep this one, unfortunately. Go.
Attack you for 5.
Sure you want to play your Reveler into a Seal Away? Just kidding. I'll go to 9.
Do I play into an Absorb here?
It's a good question.
I know.
I'll say this Midnight Reaper's ability is not very good against me. My main deck, I have literally no way to kill a creature. Or I guess
You have
no, I
Mortify.
have Mortify. I'm stupid. But I have like Seal Aways and Excellence Bindings and Settle the Wreckages.
Not sure what I'm supposed to do here.
So like if this was a normal counterspell, I just want to throw this out there. If this was, do I play into I don't know, Sinister Sabotage, whatever. Does that change anything?
I think there's a good chance I would play into Sabotage. I really don't want you to gain 3 life. Like,
there it is.
Really.
There it is.
And given that you've missed land drops and I see 2 Mortifies in the graveyard, and I'm not that concerned even if you do Mortify one of these things, I don't think I play into the Absorb. I think I just play land go.
All right. Search for Scanta.
Ross, question from Moxer Mold Forest, same thing. Did you ever consider Finality just as a double raise dead, or is that not good enough?
You'd have to ask Jim. It was his deck. I just adapted it pretty quickly with new cards. I think Find could be pretty good at it in a deck like this. Like, you got a lot of good utility creatures to bring back. Because you can't really play the Finality half, I guess you could splash it pretty easily now.
Yep.
With the mana.
You could also just make them all stomping grounds, play a lot more mountains, fewer swamps, fewer double black cards, and then you get to play Goblin Chain Whirler and what's the status statue?
Right. I think it's a reasonable one of. There's a main deck Arguel's Bloodfast in this list, and one more in the sideboard. Like a Find would be over one of those. I couldn't tell you where. Once again, no need to play into this. Okay, that was a tilt, but I mean, Todd's at 4. Like, you're gonna have to tap out to deal with this Rixmati.
Yeah.
It's really just no reason for me to get hasty.
Go.
Attack
2.
Pass. Here's an Absorb.
Minus some die to Siege Gang Commander. Yep.
that's how it goes.
I just got stuck on lands.
Do you have the Absorb?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And that's how you play around counterspells.
I just want to hit my land drops. I want to do stuff.
Okay.
Cast Absorb one time. We're not cutting a break after that game. We're gonna talk about sideboarding. Yeah.
Take some questions here.
Yeah, let's do it.
I got some good cards.
I think Tide Taker might be okay against you. checks a lot of your early stuff. Gets around your Playcrafter, which I like. Ixalan's Binding. I guess you do have some Planeswalkers after sideboard. Engar, Engrass, however you say it. Let's get some questions.
Do you think from It's Simon DS, could precognitive perception replace Chemister's Insight in the blue control decks?
I do not know. Oh, that's the 5 mana draw 3, scry 3 if you play Sorcery Speed.
Addendum, yeah.
Well, I don't think it'll replace necessarily. I think Chemister's Insight is insanely good. But it's a new world, you know. 5 might be the new 4. Like if you're playing Gift of Paradise, you're ramping right to 5 mana. It's pretty good. What was replacing which deck, or just say Chemister's?
Just replacing Chemister's Insight in general.
I mean, Jason Ingenuity was always a fine card, and this is a strict upgrade, I think. And but I mean, I do think Chemister's Insight is very good, so it's tough to say. We actually trimmed one Chemister's Insight just to test out Sphinx's Insight to see, and we haven't drawn it yet, but every time I've drawn Chemister's Insight, it's just been nuts. Like, it's the card I want to draw at basically all stages, because I'm not playing some big burst of card advantage like Niv Mizzet or Expansion Explosion. So
Do you think it's a card that could be like not better than Chemister's in like the typical blue control decks, but maybe better in like you were saying kind of the Bant decks or like the Nexus decks that were ramping with Gift of Paradise?
That's certainly possible, especially if you're able to play it on the main phase because of Reclamation.
Wilderness Reclamation.
Wilderness Reclamation. I don't know why I can't remember the name of that card. I'm sorry.
As far as a typical control card draw spell, the difference between 4 and 5 mana is a lot. In large part because of the sequencing that I mentioned earlier, where you have 3 mana counter spell, 4 mana card draw spell, 5 mana threat, usually Teferi. Like it is a more powerful one, so that to me points towards you wanting to have a split. And so it probably makes it in as a singleton or a 2 of being the more powerful option, because I'd rather draw 1 of each than like 2 of either of them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with Chemister's Insight, like giving you the second copy baked in. But it's a powerful card. Ingenuity was good.
Viper 12 Skies asks, why are the Utah Jazz as bad as the new Kaya Planeswalker?
Well, one, that's just insulting because the Jazz are actively good.
Got them.
They're about a 500 team right now, but they've had the hardest schedule in the league by a country mile. They've played well over half of their games on the road, and they've got 2 road games coming up. Although one's against Cleveland, so that'll be easy. That's tomorrow night. And they're going to turn it around. Exum's looking good. Eventually, Donovan's going to...
Didn't you trade your best player away last year, though? Or year before?
Gordon Hayward left in free agency.
Oh.
And then shattered his ankle 5 minutes into his first game.
And you are salty or happy about that?
I'm sad about it.
Anyway, that's neither here. Let's talk about Magic the Gathering. Sideboards here. I'll start first. Mine's pretty clean. The card Mortify. Maybe I should leave it in my deck. You know, you are bringing in Argyl's Bloodfast. Cellular Wreckage is definitely coming out against red decks that are like mid-rangey. They're always going to have some amount of Banefire, and ramping them into that is real bad. I'd rather just rely on stuff like Seal Away to take care of Rekindling Phoenix or some of the early creatures being thrown at me. The Negate, I'm like hit or miss on. Like, it gets a little bit better after board because of the card Duress and because they always want to go like more Planeswalkery with Karn and Angar. So it's possible that I want to get rid of like something like Essence Scatter or Syncopate instead. But all these cards are, you know, they all have their strengths and weaknesses, and Ross has a pretty clean mix of non-creature and creature spells that I need to be able to check. We just keep seeing counter spells getting stuck in my hand because Ross is really good at playing around them because he's been playing Magic for 15 years or whatever. So we're going to do the sideboarding like this, though. If we make it to game 3, we will likely bring in like History Benalia. You know, I don't know. We'll do some weird stuff and try to have fun.
Okay. On my side, pretty typical anti-control plan. We got our Duresses that comes in over the worst removal spell. We've got a better threat than Chupacabra and Karn. Give us some more Planeswalkers. The Banefires are good, and the Bloodfast. I don't think Daredevil is good in this matchup because there's no like cheap cantrip to target and no real cheap removal spell. Like all the things that made this card good against aren't there, like the Lava Coils and the Opts and things.
Yeah.
So this is a card that like this kind of effect would normally be good against control decks, but just the nature of this specific matchup, I think makes this card bad. And then again, because Todd's relying on mainly exile removal, I don't know that he's bringing out all the settles. He's got Seal Aways, he's got Ixalan's Bindings, he's got cheap counter spells for Rekindling Phoenix. So I actually think Phoenix is somewhat weak.
I do agree with that.
So I'm trimming on that to fit in all of the anti-control cards in this deck sideboard.
All right. A couple more questions while we're shuffling out, if you got them.
Somebody send me something, because I've used all the ones I had.
No. All right.
Hey, back to talking about the Jazz.
Oh, no.
Rudy Gobert's
Don't
great.
encourage him. I guess, people ask me questions about Alabama quite a bit. I think
the Jazz are going to finish with 47 to 48 wins. And
is that playoff worthy?
Yeah, they'll be on the road in the first round of the playoffs. They'll be like the 6th seed. And they'll have a tough first round. Probably won't be a favorite, but they haven't been an on paper favorite in the first round the last 2 years, and they won both series. So
nice.
Kellum was asking, how do you find what do you guess think of Rule Spellbreaker?
That card's really good.
Yeah, the rate on it is nuts. Like 3-mana 3/3 haste, where your opponent can't cast Sell the Wreckage, right?
Yeah,
or
nuts. Kill it.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
The 3-mana 4/4 with all the same stuff. It's very good. It's very good.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like Flinthoof Boar to me, which is a card that got completely unlocked once Stomping Ground was printed in Gatecrash.
That's true-ish, but it was always pretty good just because of Burning Tree Emissary. Flinthoof Boar is a 2-mana 2/2 if green creature. Spin red to give it haste. If you control Mountain, it got +1/+1. So a lot of times you were just casting it kind of like a Goblin Ram Gang, like a 3-mana 3/3. Yeah, you're gonna have to look at that one. I'm just saying 3-mana 3/3 haste, but it was 2-mana 3/3
split card.
I just misheard you. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Really
oh, sure.
But it's another card that just goes really well with Elvish Mystic too. Now that we have Stomp Ground, so
right. I haven't won a game in my deck, so I mulligan to 7.
That's fine.
Just so you know. All right, my hand is keepable. It's fine. It's okay. Start with the Godless Shrine.
That wasn't a good draw.
I really want a Tie Taker there. That would have been nice.
That would have been excellent because I have a Bloodfast.
That's a yikes.
Pass. No Syncopate.
Nope. What am I afraid of on 3? We drew a
Midnight
Search.
Reaper.
I'm not afraid of that card right now. So
okay.
I'll play Search for Scanta.
So there's some people who joined us late, but could you guys summarize your thoughts again on Judith the Scourge Diva?
Oh, so Judith the Scourge Diva, I think, is a card with a lot of potential. I'm quite unhappy that it says non-token. I think it would probably be a little too powerful if it said non-token. I would have liked to not pumped all your creatures and just had the ability of kind of like a mini Goblin Bombardment, but attached to a creature. I think that would have been really cool.
I like the pump ability. I think people are misevaluating it a little bit and thinking of it as this Blood Artist card, and it's not really Blood Artist, and that it goes in these Aristocrat style decks. I think it's more just the Rakdos aggro curve topper. And you're going to play it with some tokens just to get value out of the +1/+0, but it's also just going to deal a bunch of extra damage. It's great that it's a legend that you can draw multiples of and feel okay.
Because the second one you play just deals 2 split however you want.
It's just 3-mana Forkful.
Are you just going to draw?
I'm going to draw main phase.
Try to look for a Duress.
Well, I have the Duress, but I want to see what I'm drawing before I decide what to take with the Duress.
Okay. I have a Sealway Binding, a Teferi, and an Absorb. Probably Binding, because I'm just going to take your Bloodfast, but Teferi could be more problematic.
It's all problematic.
Well, you at least get to draw 2 cards next turn if you take Binding, whereas if you take Teferi, I just Binding, and you don't get to draw those cards. And then all you have to deal with after that is, I guess I don't know. Let's say if you take Teferi, let Binding resolve. You have Sealway, Absorb, Land, Search versus your hand. 6 cards though.
The thing is, if I just let you Binding next turn, I like no matter what of these cards I take, my hand doesn't line up well.
Okay,
this is like almost the Nightmare hand, so I have to just take the Binding and hope the Bloodfast finds good things.
All right, top card. We will keep it. Go.
Bob the Destroyer asked, given the Afterlife, if there's a bunch of Afterlife creatures running around standard, is Settle the Wreckage the correct play most likely in white control list?
I do think Settle the Wreckage just gains a little bit of value from Azorius becoming more playable. And especially with Absorb, you have a lot of protection from cards like Banefire. And with Mortify, you have protection from cards like Experimental Frenzy, ways for them to use all that extra mana. Here we're going to play a Instant Speed Sphinx's Insight that I really wish was a Chemister's Insight. So figured that one out. It's not good!
That draw 2 is still really good here.
Yeah. It is really good. Now, I want to play Teferi and Minus, but there's a very good chance my Planeswalker just dies from Bedevil or just 1 point of damage. I guess maybe Teferi tick up and I just try to race on the cards, but then I guess if you Bedevil, you don't actually get to minus this, or you don't get to Bloodfast this turn. Maybe I just do nothing, but then I'm just gonna get buried by Bloodfast. You start casting 3-drops and drawing a card, and alright. Draw.
Sure.
Untap.
Trigger on the stack. Go to 16, draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Go to 14, draw a card.
Okay. Alright, you're at 14. I untap these 2. Your turn.
So
I think I forgot to search for a Scant on my upkeep.
So I know you have Absorb, Seal Away.
Yes.
Got it. Essence Scatter or Syncopate.
I do have a Syncopate.
That's a tilt. I'm pretty dead. You can go.
Alright, search for Scanta. I will give her this land, draw for turn. Set this to 6. Tithe Taker, untap these 2. Your turn.
Yeah.
And Tithe Taker actually makes him main phase this, or it costs more mana, which is kind of dope. It also can apply some pressure to his life total, so that you can't activate it as much.
Rest you.
Okay, well, if I cast Absorb, my Syncopate, it gets really bad, so I'll just let it resolve. Just hold up Syncopate to protect this from Plague Crafter.
Okay.
You have so many cards in hand. If you concede right now, I'm going to be very upset. I guess Plague Crafter is bad because of this.
I'm not going to concede. I am going to take the Absorb.
Smart.
So you have Syncopate, double
Still have yet to
Seal
cast
Away.
Absorb. It's crazy.
Midnight Reaper.
Okay.
Rixmati Reveler.
Okay.
Discard Arguel's Bloodfast.
Sure.
Pass the turn.
Untap. Search for Scant. Graveyard. Draw. Fairy up. Go.
Oh, none of these cards do anything.
So, a question from L.
Yeah, what's up?
Any general thoughts on upcoming Cross Guild Synergy? Anything you're looking for? So, it's just like a Judith Tesa combo or anything?
I mean, I really like there's a bit of synergy between Gruul and the +1/+1 counters from Riot, mixing with the +1 counter abilities from Simic. So there could be some cross synergies there that could be cool. As far as like from one set to the next, I mean, we saw Surveil do some stuff and explore in the same deck, but I don't know. It's tough to evaluate right this moment. Do I care about that?
I don't know.
I don't either. Probably. All right. For X equals 3, I guess. All right, you're at 12.
Do I want to attack at all? I think that just lets you seal away a thing. Yep, but I'm gonna have to like get through these seal aways anyway. Yep, I don't mind them being on this Rixmati. So attack your Teferi.
I'll just seal away it. I don't want to give him a card off of Midnight Reaper. And Tithe Taker actually makes him main phase the Bloodfast, so he has less options, and I don't know. My turn? Or are you gonna address me?
The Shrimp is asking,
The
do you
Shrimp.
think the new Orzhov Planeswalker Kaya has a place in the sideboard of modern decks?
For what is it doing?
He said for
Exiles
dredge,
one
but
toughness things, hits graveyards. It's sorcery speed though, which is not good.
it's converted mana cost.
Do you live on top?
I'm still thinking. This is a transform no matter what, because I have 7
Sure.
cards. I want to answer this question first, I guess. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm kind of starting to agree with Ross. I don't think it's very good in general. I don't think it's a sideboard card. I think it does 2 things poorly. Like it deals with one cost permanents poorly for 3 mana, and it deals with graveyards poorly for 3 mana. So as a sideboard card, I would say no. All right, so the top card is a Tide Taker. I think I'm just gonna graveyard this. So I just want to find counterspell to protect Teferi. So draw for turn. Draw off of Teferi. Activate Scanta. Reveal Absorb. Play a land, untap a Scanta and an island, and say go.
Well, I'm pretty dead.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Essence Scatter.
Angarth.
Angarth. So if you minus on the Tide Taker, let's see, I seal avoid this. I guess I should just absorb it. Because I mean, you haven't played a lane yet?
I have not.
Yeah, so odds are he's just gonna, let's see, if he takes it, he also gets the Afterlife token.
And your spells cost 1 more.
Yeah, that's not a huge deal. So this, if I did a seal away on this, would cost 3. And then I could still play Absorb for 4. And this would take 2 damage, and then you'd get a 1/1, but you'd have Angarth. All right, I'm gonna absorb it.
You gain 3.
Yeah.
Go to 23.
Yep.
Got another counterspell.
I do not.
Okay. Well, certainly not out of the woods yet, but better shape than we were a turn ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Angarth just
Yes.
puts too much pressure on me, and I can't ultimate my Teferi next turn, so I have to just hope that you don't have the land Bedevil. All right, I will activate Scanta.
Yeah. So I actually Karned the previous turn to set up get multiple
double
lands
spell.
to set up the double spell.
Yeah.
And I just drew them anyway and used a counterspell on Karn, so it was perfect.
Yeah, it was Syncopate, though. If it was a different one, I might not have.
Yeah.
So I can main phase a Scanta to search for another Teferi, or I can just plan on multiple Chemisters Insights. I think I want to attack, trade that for a card. You have plenty of cards, not a lot of life. I'll just say go. With a seal away, the Midnight Reaper is just not threatening at the moment, so. Like, if he attacks me, I'm, just going to seal away it. He sits there, it's fine. It's not doing anything.
Six in hand?
I have 5 in hand.
5 in hand.
I have
Still a
no
lot.
Chemisters in the grave. The rest of the graveyard doesn't matter that much. I think only 1 Teferi's down.
You resolved and absorbed, by the way. Should we celebrate? Should we have celebrated? I
No,
feel like we
because
missed.
it wasn't even that good. It was just
Yeah.
counterspell. I mean, I'm already at so much life. You didn't put pressure on me this game,
Yeah.
so that's something to think about. The games where you are applying a lot of pressure, you can choose not to play anything, right? In some spots, and then the life gain isn't as relevant. All right, I'm gonna go 20. I don't need to seal away that right this second, because I might need to use like all my mana for stuff. I'll scatter that.
Okay, pass the turn.
All right, I can Chemiser and try to hit some lands, or I can just activate a Scanta. I don't really need lands, so we'll just Scanta.
Oh, it's not a very good hit.
Nope, but it was that or nothing. All right, I will attack for 2, put you to 10. Play Watery Grave. I'll go ahead and seal away this and say go.
End step, go to 8.
Yep.
Go to 6.
Yep.
Siege Grain.
I'll scatter that.
Don't. Karn.
Okay.
I think I'm going to start this with making a construct to block this Tithe Taker.
Okay.
So let's get a Matthias. Here we go. Want to blow up all enchantments?
No. It's artifacts too. This is just not going how I thought it would go in general. I did put a Teferi on the bottom earlier with the Scanta when I was found the Absorb. So there's just a 1/1?
Yep.
Alright, attack. Okay. So you get a 1/1 Spirit. I will. You don't have Spirit. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have main phase of Chemister's Insight. Yep. The Tide Taker and say go. Having 2 Tide Takers in play does seem pretty good against control decks. You can have Swamp. You're like, haha, I bet you needed that land.
6.
Yep. I should have just attacked you.
Go to 4.
Yikes.
That could have gone better.
Resolves? Kind of just want the other flyer since you're at 4. Yeah, sure. Get a. Maybe I missed them. I'm gonna double check. We got Starseed Blessing, Matthias tokens, Saplings, coins, emblems, dinosaurs, and knights.
Play a tap, Blood Crypt, and pass the turn.
Is there another pile somewhere with spirits? That's okay. Alright, so I have another spirit from the other Tithe Taker. We'll get that remedy in just a sec. I'm going to go ahead and activate Scanta. What did you do? Did I miss something?
I just played a tapped Blood Crypt.
Okay. Take it Absorb. Thank you. Untap. Drop. I will play my land, and I will attack you for 2.
I'm 2.
Ross is at 2 life. I'm still at 20. I will pass the turn, I guess. I don't know. I could main phase this Scanta, look for Teferi. I don't know.
Keep this transforms.
Sure.
Duke Fleshwater asked Todd, what cards do you get over Niv Mizzet playing Esper instead of Jeskai? And do you think they're better?
I mean, it's basically just like potential access to Orzhov cards, which we haven't really seen a lot of yet. Like Mortify was the card that I was pretty excited about as a versatile answer for this deck. Chromium is pretty solid, but I don't think it's better than Niv Mizzet. So I don't think any of these are none of these are better than Niv Mizzet, and there's a good chance that this deck is just worse than Jeskai Control. So you know, it is what it is. I mean, you can just have it, whatever.
Yeah, take the Absorb.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
And we did that because I guess we should do this in response. I'm gonna do this in response.
Yeah.
That way, if we found another counterspell. All right. That way, he could kill my creature in response, and then I wouldn't have access to counterspell. So now Dress resolves. Do you want to take this instead?
No,
or
take an Absorb.
All right. Go down tap. Draw for turn.
Yep.
Attack you for 2.
We double one of them.
I'll activate this in response.
Yep.
I'll take Excellent Binding, and I'll try to absorb the Devil.
2 lands. Should have bedeviled
Okay.
main phase, but I don't think I'm coming close to winning against another counterspell. Those Tithe Takers were very impressive.
Yeah, I mean they're obviously good against stuff like Plague Crafter. You know, like it just turns that card into a do nothing against me, which I think is pretty sweet because normally it's pretty good against a fairy.
Yeah.
I like that it can trade early for things like Rixmati Reveler, leave a body lying around. A lot of your creatures have 2 toughness.
I'm
Yeah.
a Codeplay Crafter and bring another Phoenix in.
Okay.
That helps against Tithe Taker. Maybe.
Mm.
I don't know.
I don't either. I'm kind of thinking about just cutting Sealaways, but that seems silly. What I do want to cut something. I want to bring in the 3
Histories?
history Benalias and just. I mean, you had trouble beating a Tithe Taker there, so
To be fair, I did like 12 myself with a Bloodfast.
sure. All right, I'm just not even gonna. I'm just not even care about sweepers in this matchup.
Yeah. The issue was I had to deal myself a bunch of damage just to keep up because I didn't have an answer to the Teferi for so long. And so I didn't really get ahead with it. And that's usually like you have to get ahead with Bloodfast after you draw a bunch of cards because your life total is so low. And because I wasn't able to do that, I just died.
Yeah. Is Chromium even good against you? Chromium seems like it's bad against you. Plus, the draw 2 of Sing's Insight seemed good, and the life gain might end up mattering if I am trying to not die to a Banefire. So I'm going to cut the Chromium and the 2 Cleansing Novas, my only 2 sweepers, and bring in History. It's going to leave me a little more vulnerable to resolve Siege Gang Commander, but I think I have enough counter spells to keep that in check since I have a bunch of Essence Scatters. And with Tithe Taker and History Benali, I can sometimes just check
Power
it.
through.
Yeah. Grind and...
I've been trying my damnedest to resolve a Siege King Commander, and it hasn't gone so well.
Yep. All right. Any questions while I'm shuffling?
Yeah, one for you. Crit Chicken 2 asked, how excited are you to do coverage all year and anything you're looking forward to do most this year?
Which event or which format? What was the last part?
Just what are you looking forward to most during coverage this year?
Honestly, just working with really awesome people and working for Pete Huffling and the SCG Tour. I had a lot of fun doing it last year. I only did 4 shows. This year I have 6 in the first half of the year. Kind of ramped up a bit, which is great. Well, I guess I'm doing something right. I'm glad that y'all are enjoying watching it. And if you don't enjoy watching it, I'm sorry and I will do better. Yeah.
More Magic related. Why no Moment of Craving in the Esper list?
The black is a very light splash. And honestly, I don't even know if it's necessary. The Mortifies have not looked good in 2 matches so far. So we may just cut the black altogether. Just gonna throw that one out there.
Yeah, that's true. The Mortifies
or just splash green for the card that gives me 20 extra mana a game. You know. Wildlife Reclamation.
We're good to go because my hand's good.
My hand's solid. Whatever.
Blood Crypt Pass.
Alright. Your turn.
Standard All-Star, Elvish Visionary.
Nice.
I'll go to 19.
I mean, in this matchup, it's basically Elvish Visionary, right? Because I'm not really pressuring you that much.
I don't know if you've ever read Tithe Taker, but...
That's true. I have not read that card. That's a joke. I read it a lot last game. Alright, search for Skanta.
Attack for 1.
19 all.
Midnight Reaper.
Yikes.
Pass the turn.
Alright, Skanta trigger. We'll keep the lands in Player History Benalia. Chapter 1. Sup. Now at this point, we don't really mind the Midnight Reaper trade because, draws a card is fine. I'm gonna block.
Okay, I'll go to 18.
Just gonna block.
I guess I should attack with both because I'm fine trading this for a card too and getting a damage.
Well, now I don't want to block.
Okay, so you go to 18, I go to 18, I draw a card. I will play a mountain and a Rekindled Phoenix.
Yeah.
Pass turn.
Alright. Skanta 6.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to trade there because I'm playing the Phoenix, so like it just stresses your Sealaways, but this thing can't really attack into the history anyway, so.
So another Warzone card you might want that had been spoiled. I don't know if either of you have seen Canonize Consume.
No, that's the split card, right?
Yeah.
What does it do? Ship it.
1 white black, 1 and then an Orzhov mana. Instant, exile target card from a graveyard, draw a card. Second half, consume.
Okay.
2 white black sorcery. Target player shuffles a creature or sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. You gain life equal to that creature's power.
Ooh, so it's kind of like a Sorcerer's Speed Crackling Doom that gains you life instead of dealing them damage. That's pretty cool.
It's an okay role player.
Yeah.
Got a seal away for me?
I'll take it. I'm at 14. Syncopate for 1. And seal away this.
Jeez.
Alright, untap. Scanta.
That went poorly.
Got him. Ah, man. This Tide Taker is not looking great right now. I just want to find like Teferi and counter spells, I think. So draw chapter 3, attack for 4.
Oh, block.
Okay.
I think my
have
life total is actually somewhat important.
18 to 14. I'm going to shock and say go. I'm at 12. Is that worth? That's not worthwhile. I'm at 14.
Siege Gang Commander.
Syncopate it.
Pass the turn.
Untap. Search for Scanta. In the land, looking for Teferi and counter spells. Attack for 2. 16 to 14. Go.
Karn.
Did I bring back in the negate? Or if I have a negate in my deck. I do not. That will resolve, unfortunately.
Plus.
Maybe we can find Ixalan's Binding. Oh, I actually thought about this line. That's fine. That resolves. Or sorry, you get the dress.
Pass.
He did not dress me. Interesting. Alright. Chemist's Insight. Draw 2. Sure. Untap. Scanta. Bend this. Flip this. Boink. Draw for turn. Attack the Karn.
That's a 4.
Go.
Plus.
Yep. You can have 14. Banefarm and Playcrafter are pretty similar. They both just kill the knight. Guess you can have the Playcrafter. Sure, Playcrafter. Plus, there's a outside chance that he doesn't play because if I mortify the yeah, it's fine. If I mortify the thing in response, it's fine. He has to sacrifice his Karn, which is a little awkward.
So you have land Scanta.
Mm.
Land search.
I'm letting that resolve because I want to be able to activate a Scanta and then still counterspell something. Alright, we will activate
another counterspell.
And I will absorb that.
Ugh.
Now we'll go to 17.
Yep. You're up.
Jeremy Pete's just subscribed with Twitch Prime.
Hey, thanks. Much appreciated. Yes, I know. My draw is good. But you have an active Karn, and, that's great. Attack Karn. No, I'm not going to do that.
No.
Crap. I don't know what to do. Drew Teferi. It was a great draw, but it made my turn a lot harder.
This is why you don't put good cards in your deck, Todd.
Yeah. I don't put good cards in my deck because I really like playing bad cards. Yeah. Alright, minus here. Tag you for 2, put you to 14.
Yep.
Pass. And that'll make it a little harder for him to return Engarth or Banefire. Hold on, sir.
Thanks. You have a search for a Scanta in your hand.
Yeah, you're right. Alright, so he's going to steal my token and attack Teferi,
Yeah.
and then EOT is going to die. So.
And then I'll play this land tapped.
Alright. I will Scanta over casting the thing in my graveyard. The Chemist's Insight. What do I want? Teferi or Absorb. We can also take History, which will give us potentially multiple threats to try to check the Angarth. But the Teferi just kind of checks the Angarth on its own. So, this is tough. I could also just take Absorb to make sure I don't get beat down by that whatever next spell he plays. But I guess I'll just take the answer to the thing that's on the battlefield. Teferi's the best card, right? Might as well play it. Draw. I'm thinking I might actually tick up because the discard on this is not a huge deal at the moment. And if I find a counter spell to protect Teferi from Bedevil, that would change how this game plays out. Or if I draw a land, I can actually activate this and still cast Absorb. All right, so draw. Activate this. I'll just take Binding. Whatever. I'm going to play this tapped and untap these two. Your turn.
Plus, you go to 15.
Yep.
You have 2 in hand, and I know one of them is a binding.
Yep. Just kill it. It's dead. I have the option to keep an Essence Scatter instead of the binding off of the plus.
Probably should have remembered you gave that to me off Karn then.
Yeah, that's true. Probably should remember to shut up.
I'll pass the turn.
Look, this is a long game, and I'm having to. Well, I'm very poorly trying to be entertaining. And it's not easy. All right, I will binding this. I guess you can Bedevil in response, so you can maybe Karn and whatever on that. So I can play a History here. Is that even good? You're just going to play Karn next turn, and you can minus and get Angarth. If you have a land, you can play that. Take minus on the History token. I guess I could Chemisters, discarding Search, and hit exactly Land Absorb. And that would allow me to counterspell the Karn. I can also just find another binding. Just go, whatever. Oh, you can't Angarth. I'm stupid. You would just get Banefire. Yeah. Okay. Go. Oh, no, then I should just cast this, I think. The next turn I can main phase this to find the binding. Just let him use his removal on my things if he wants to. I'm also saying out loud that I don't have the things that he might be afraid of, which is a little weird, but, gotta do what we gotta do. I guess you could have activated Memorial, but you're trying to push towards Banefire lethal.
Play my Karn. Yeah, so now these are under it.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Jim.
So I think I'll just plus for now.
Okay. You have Mountain.
Play this Mountain and pass the turn.
Okay, tap. I guess I should have just played this last turn. No, it might have changed your play. No, okay, whatever, sorry.
Sure.
All right, draw.
Get another knight.
Yep. Let's go. I'm going to main phase this and see what I hit, and then I'm going to make some decisions after that. Okay, we hit a seal away. Not ideal. Let's go to Teferi minus on this. Let's go 2 at you.
I'm at 14.
I had you at 14 already. What do you have him at?
Okay, I'm at 12.
Okay, your turn. I don't think you've gained life.
And a turn, but double the Teferi.
Yep. I thought about just going straight at the beginning, Knight at Karn, and he might have bedeviled the thing, but I don't think he would. I think he would just save it for Teferi because it's such a... With Ascanta, it's pretty easy to find it, and it's such a backbreaking effect. Sorry, this is tapped.
You leave the 1 mana untapped?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back a Siege Gang Commander and play it.
Okay.
Get some goblins.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right. That's the one thing I don't like about Chemist's Insight and Ascanta in the same deck. You just have so many times where you have Chemisters and you don't want to use it, or you have Ascanta and don't want to use it because you're like missing line drops. All right. Trigger history, attack for 8.
I think I want to block one of these and leave myself with more goblins to deal with them. So I'm going to chump 1 and go to 8.
Okay. I'm going to play a Tithe Taker.
It's pretty good.
And say go.
Two in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Pass.
All right. I'm gonna start with Ascanta, top 3. Take binding, and then I'll pitch search for Ascanta for Chemisters. Draw 2.
Yeah. So I know you have 1 binding, and that's all I know.
You might know a seal away that I have. I think I revealed one earlier.
Seal away. I thought there was another enchantment. I was thinking second binding, but it's a seal away.
All right, so there's a good chance he throws 9 at me, or 6 at me, puts me in 9, and then do you have Banefire for 9? Yep. Okay. So you're at 8. You took 4 from the attacks last turn. All right, we'll attack first. No real point in casting Binding here because you can just sacrifice the Siege Gang Commander. I'm at 15, you're at 8. I have 4 cards in hand.
Lock them and 6 you.
Okay, I go to 9.
Yep.
You have to pay a bunch more, but I think you have.
Oh, yeah, 1 more for each activation.
Actually, I should take this back. Sorry, I need to do this first.
What?
I'm stupid. I'm gonna play a Tithe Taker before attacks, and then you can't actually do that. You have to do it now and not block. Because it costs 2 extra per. It's my fault. Learning new cards. Right? During your turn, spells your opponent's cast cost 1 more, and activate abilities opponent's activate cost 1 more unless they're mana abilities.
So you have 3 in hand now?
I have 3 cards in hand. So each one would cost 4. Each 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're 2 mana short of being able to. So you could do actually, can you do 3, 3, 4?
Yeah, that's what I have to do.
And then you block 1 thing, and then
Yep. Take 4. You go to 11.
Okay.
Good.
And then I could Binding now and force him to throw the Siege Gang. But I would only be hitting him for 6. And I can still Ascanta into Absorb and not die to Banefire. So, right. And then I'll go to 9 after blocks.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna make this fast because it's Banefire or bust.
The card's on top.
Hey, we did a main phase. We did a main phase. Yes, I'm not an idiot. Draw 2, gain 2 life. Get Ragnarok, Miriam. Here go.
You know what the worst part about this is? I told him to put the Sphinx's Insight into his deck. It's like, let's see how the new card plays. He had 4 Chemist's Insights.
I sure did. Hey, what was a corner case? This is a corner case.
You kept Teferiing my Karn. Like, I was just going to set up double Banefire, and I was trying, like, I had it through an Absorb. Like,
First top deck Fireball.
Can't cast that Angrath. So what can this Karn do? I'm at 4, so getting Banefire and killing 2 things doesn't do anything. Nor does getting token into Banefire. I guess I can hit Siege Gang.
Ooh, classic Siege Gang into Siege Gang strat. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the only way I live.
Haven't you already cast more than...
I have 2 here. I rebought 1 with Memorial, so I've cast 3. But
okay,
so I just top 2 have to be the exact 2 cards.
Okay. Do you not have an... Okay, just turn them over. It's fine. You can have the land. Is there a land?
So close.
Nah, you can have the Siege Gang Commander. I want to keep playing.
Okay.
Are we running low on time? It's 4 o'clock. You can have them. You're dead.
Yeah,
I'll give you the
I'm
Rick
dead.
Smotty Reveler. I was making a joke. Oh yeah, found the Sphinx inside. What's up? More like Sphinx's revelation.
And you'll notice that in that game, 1 absorb resolved. It was the only absorb to resolve of the entire day.
Remember when I was like, "Oh, that 3 life's irrelevant," and it was the super relevant. It was just really, really relevant.
Oh no, it was the second. No, that was game 2 that you resolved 1 in, and it was irrelevant.
That was the second. I resolved multiple absorbs that game. I had 2 absorbs in the graveyard, and they were snapping off.
No, I dressed
Siege Gang
1.
Commander. Oh, you dressed 1. I counted a Siege Gang Commander once, I think. Okay, let me just check my life total here. 18, 14,
then 17,
6,
and then 15.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah,
14, 12,
you only
14,
resolved 1 absorb that
17.
game, but that's all you needed.
Yeah. So, well, no, actually, I needed 1 more absorb / Sphinx's Insight. That's what I needed.
The real kicker in those games were the Tithe Takers and the Histories. They prevented my creatures from doing incidental damage, and they matched me on that level.
Yeah.
Tithe Taker was super impressive.
No, I agree with that. I actually think Tide Taker was better than History of Benalia. And not only coming down a turn earlier, being cheaper in general, made it much easier to double spell. Just the threat of trading earlier, I think, was just better. I don't know. Maybe I have bias or like recency bias or whatever, because I just have I don't know, whatever. It's irrelevant. They were both good.
Yeah, Tithe Taker in particular. Even outside of the interaction with Siege Gang Commander, which is neat. Like, it does 1 extra mana on a Siege Gang activation is no joke.
You could have survived. Wait, what?
Why didn't I could have I could have dealt with the first one in response to the second one, and then been able to block 2 things.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have put me to 9. You would have put me to 11.
Oh yeah,
you had to target me with all the Siege Gang.
Yeah, to put you to 9. Okay, yeah, no, that's irrelevant.
Anywho, these 2 decks, I mean, they looked smooth. The mana bases were fine. I liked the fact that I didn't feel like I took too much damage from my lands. So if you're looking for like a stockish 2-color deck splashing a 3rd color, you can build it very similar. Like if you're looking for a Jeskai deck that's base Azorius and just splashing, you can just copy the model and shift over. It felt great.
We didn't really get to see a lot of Rick Smotty out of the Rakdos deck. I will say that through most of the games, I had reasonable cards in hand a lot of the time because the curve goes up.
Yeah,
which makes me think that maybe Rick Smotty is the supplementary 2-drop. You just want 4 Dusk Legion Zealots and then 1 or 2 Rick Smotties. Maybe over in the Direfleet Daredevil spot, things like that. I'm
more under the impression that it just doesn't.
That it's just an aggro card.
Yeah, I think it's just more of an aggro.
That's the other possibility
or
there.
Potentially a graveyard related card. Discarding a card and drawing a card is a reasonably powerful ability, and I don't know if we have any super good reanimate type effects, but we do have the black 1/3/3 Death Touch whenever it attacks. Izareth the Awakener. Yes, we have that as a potential curve that we could play in a Rakdos deck, which seems not bad. I just think it's much more of a beatdown card, and if you can't easily turn on Spectacle, I don't know if you should be playing it.
Yeah, I think in a lot of matchups it should be pretty easy to turn Spectacle on, but your sideboard plan really stymies that. In this one, Tithe Taker was
exceptional.
Yeah, that's just a good Magic card.
Ooh, I will say this: cards like Rick Smotty Reveler gain a lot of value in best of 1. If you're going to be playing a lot of Arena, if let's say you have to main deck Lava Coil in your mono red deck, which I do right now, and a lot of people do, being able to turn that Lava Coil into a non-dead card against Jeskai control is a huge deal. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And if you want the ability to turn it on, just play some Blood Crypts and Dragon Skull Summits. It'll hurt sometimes. Like, you take some damage sometimes. Sometimes your Dragon Skull Summit enters tap. Maybe you only want 4 Blood Crypt and you just don't even worry about the Dragon Skull Summits. But and then sometimes you just get the spectacle, and that's
awesome.
good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that could definitely be where that goes. I certainly expect a red aggro deck to get a lot better. One with the Thopter theme and Azorius being vulnerable to Chain Whirler, and 2, the additional Shocklands in people's decks being vulnerable to just aggressive decks backed by burn.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be it for us today.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be diving headfirst into preview season for Ravnica Allegiance in the coming weeks versus live.
So yesterday we had 5 cards previewed or something.
We got 1 million.
Today we got 1 million, and just flip flop it. Just give me the ones yesterday. Our decks would have been way different. We had more stuff.
No, next week we're going to go full bore on new decks, explore what the different guilds do, like you saw us do during the previous preview season, and I'm excited. These cards look sweet. There's a lot of cards that I look at and I say, the card seems pretty good. It might be bad. It might be really good. It just depends how it plays out. So a lot of cards that I'm eager to explore because they're hard for me to evaluate on paper.
No, I definitely agree with that, and I think that'll just come with playing the cards. The first, for example, in the previous standard format, I don't think people really figured out Wild Growth Walker until a week late, or no, actually, it was actually week 0. But the fact that it was on Magic Online, 4 days early or whatever, one of my opponents just Gruesome Menageried Wild Growth Walker and Jaylet Ranger one time, and I was just like, what in the world? And we're gonna have to go back and reevaluate some of these cards that are already in existence. And for example, there's so many Merfolk from Ixalan that are Simic colors, and Zagana, the Utopian Speaker, is a Merfolk as well that cares about +1/+1 counters. You know what puts counters on things?
Explore.
Yes, Explore, but also the Traitor to Araska, the 3-drop. What? Come on, Kumina, Tyrant of Araska. Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of little synergies we have to go back and really explore and take a fine tooth comb about.
So if there's anything y'all want to see, please let us know. You can find us on the Twitters.
No, we're gonna take 2 questions before we go.
They're
foaming at the mouth.
Okay.
Foaming at the mouth about that. Sphinx
Rob looks pretty calm.
No, really?
He's also shaking his head no.
Man.
Unfortunately.
No, there are no comments about that freaking Sphinx's insight and how sad it made Ross because he couldn't bait farm me for lethal.
There were plenty of comments about Lost Miriam and Salt Miriam and stuff, but
All right, well, that's going to do it for me and Ross today on Versus Live. I appreciate y'all watching. We should be back Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. I'm going to get sued for that, probably. I don't think I can say that.
I don't know.
We're here already.
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
It's on live.
It's out of the bag.
You're welcome. Thanks for watching Versus Live by StarCityGames.com. For Ross Merriam, I'm Todd Anderson. We'll see you next week.